At the end of the day, we want to do things that are good for the XRP ecosystem. Trust in XRP.
Jake Claver's $750 XRP price prediction by the end of the year is actually becoming
Hey everyone, welcome back to Future Millionaire. I'm so glad you're here with me today. No matter where you are in this amazing world of ours, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Now, let's dive into something that's been on everyone's mind lately, XRP. But before we get into the exciting stuff, I need to share something important with you first. The crypto world is feeling some serious heat right now. We're seeing fresh data come in that's pointing towards something we all need to pay attention to. A potential bear market could be heading our way. Now here's what's really interesting about this article. They're only focusing on Bitcoin, Solana, Chainlink, and Ethereum. Notice what's missing? That's right, XRP barely gets a mention. And you know what? I think there's a very good reason for that. XRP has been absolutely crushing it compared to all of these other cryptocurrencies. We're talking serious outperformance here, and honestly, I believe this trend is just getting started. Here's the thing that has me really excited. We're sitting on the edge of some massive catalysts for XRP. I'm talking game-changing events that could send this thing to the moon. All right, let's talk about what Dark Defender is telling us, and this guy has been incredibly accurate so far, so listen up. He's saying something pretty amazing here. The technical structure he's been tracking since February 13th, and get this, even 18 months before that, has stayed rock solid. According to his analysis, XRP just finished its monthly third wave, and now we're looking at the fifth wave kicking off. And here's where it gets exciting. His price targets are absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking $5.85 and $10 in the short term. Can you imagine? With support holding strong at $2.22, this could be the setup we've all been waiting for. But here's the kicker. Dark Defender thinks that starting today, all the way through the end of November, we're going to see analysts everywhere changing their tune and jumping on the bullish bandwagon. He's basically saying, buckle up, because the breakout is coming. Now, I'll be honest with you, this market has been wild and unpredictable lately. But here's the thing about Dark Defender. His calls have been scary accurate up to this point. So the big question is, will his winning streak continue? Are we about to witness this epic breakout he's predicting? Only time will tell, but I'm definitely keeping my eyes glued to the charts. Brad Garlinghouse said, and end of the day, everything we do is to strengthen XRP. Take a listen.
But at the end of the day, we want to do things that are good for the XRP ecosystem. Trust in XRP, utility in XRP, and we want to build liquidity in XRP. Each of the acquisitions we do, in one way or another, we believe it will do those things. Some people may look at it and be like, I don't really, scratch their head a little bit. Well, I promise you that we see in the three-dimensional game of chess, we see how we believe that's going to evolve. Sometimes we'll probably do things that are more obvious and some less obvious. That's okay with us. Now, on XRP specifically, look, do I think that we have room to grow? Absolutely. I think as we get more regulatory clarity, you're going to see more institutions, more capital, more entrepreneurs. We don't advocate that it's the right, one size fits all, that you should do everything on the XRP blockchain. There's other blockchains that are going to be better at different use cases, and that's great. But we think that we'll continue to champion XRP use cases that we think are uniquely good on that blockchain.
You know what I absolutely love about what Ripple is doing right now? They're not just sitting around hoping for the best. They're actively building an entire ecosystem around XRP. Think about it. Every single partnership, every new product, every innovation they're rolling out, it's all designed with one goal in mind, to make XRP more useful in the real world. And here's the beautiful thing about that strategy. Utility equals value, my friends. The more useful XRP becomes, the more valuable it gets. That's not just wishful thinking, that's basic economics. This is exactly what's going to be the rocket fuel for XRP's price in the long run. We're not just betting on hype here, we're investing in real, practical value that's being built brick by brick. Okay, so get this. A Solana Foundation manager recently said something that caught everyone's attention. Sell your house, bed, clothes, and buy XRP. Now, before you start calling real estate agents, he was totally being sarcastic here. I think he was kind of poking fun at Michael Saylor's famous Bitcoin advice, But here's the thing, and I'm going to be completely real with you right now. If you're not seriously considering XRP at these levels, you might be about to miss the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm not even kidding. We're not talking about missing a small boat here, folks. We're talking about missing the biggest yacht in the entire crypto ocean. And why am I so confident about this? Just look at the XRP chart right now. It's practically screaming, breakout incoming. You can literally see it coiling up, getting ready for what could be an absolutely explosive parabolic move. Here's something I've been telling people for ages. Pull up the XRP chart and compare it to Amazon's early days, or Tesla's massive run-up. The patterns are eerily similar. If that doesn't get you excited about XRP's potential, I honestly don't know what will. The writing is on the wall, people. The question is, are you going to read it?
$750 XRP is becoming real. You know what's absolutely wild right now? XRP predictions are literally everywhere. I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork like crazy. And honestly, I'm not even sure what triggered this madness. One day the market decides to turn green. XRP pops up by what, maybe 5%? And boom, suddenly everyone and their grandmother is talking about XRP again. It's like someone flipped a switch and the entire crypto community just remembered this gem exists. The excitement is through the roof. But wait until you hear what I'm about to share with you next. This is going to blow your mind.
Jake Claver's $750 XRP price prediction by the end of the year is actually becoming very real. You got Mastercard, Ripple, WebBank, XRP, and Gemini all in bed together. Let's talk about it. Settlements between Mastercard and WebBank will be used RLUSD stablecoin on the XRP Ledger. Yes, that's on the XRP Ledger. This is the first time a US credit card issuer plus major card network will be settled via crypto rails, and that's on the XRP Ledger. This means the banks are testing blockchain, getting ready for the back-end plumbing. This is the first proof of concept for crypto replacing our legacy rails. ACH, SWIFT, FedWire. If you've been paying attention about the news with Ripple and XRP the past few weeks, then you know that we're having crazy adoption and crazy news coming out literally 2 times a week. If you think that all this tying together is something that's only been planned out for the past 2 to 3 weeks and that this is new news, then you're extremely naive. These groups have most likely been planning and building this out for years. And that's exactly why Ripple has those 1,700 NDAs, is most likely for stuff like this. Mind you, all this is happening while Ripple hasn't even been approved for their banking license yet that they applied for back in July. There's been this narrative going around that the banks and institutions are only interested in using the stablecoins. Now for the first time, we're seeing integration straight on the XRP Ledger. If you're not paying attention and you're not staying up to date on stuff like this, you're going to be extremely left behind. I cover daily and weekly news updates right when it comes out. We'll see you guys. And no, I do not think Jake Claver is crazy.
All right, let me give you my honest take on this. I think this guy is absolutely nailing it on most of what he's saying. Seriously, he's got some great insights. But here's where I have to pump the brakes a little bit. That $750 price target by the end of 2025, look, I want to be real with you here. I just don't see it happening that fast. And trust me, I would be doing backflips if XRP hit $750 by then. I know every single one of you watching would be celebrating too, right? But here's the thing we need to understand. What we're seeing right now is just one piece of an absolutely massive puzzle. And honestly, putting all these pieces together is going to take some time. Think about it this way. You've probably noticed we're getting major Ripple and XRP announcements like clockwork, sometimes twice a week. But then you look at the price and you're like, what gives? Why isn't this thing moving? Well, here's what's really happening behind the scenes. All that infrastructure, it's still being built and connected. But once XRP goes fully live on all these payment rails, once we see real transactions flowing through the XRP Ledger, even if they're using RLUSD, that's when things could get absolutely crazy. And I mean fast. The foundation is being laid right now, but I think we're looking at a timeline that's going to stretch a bit beyond 2025 to see those massive price targets. Patience is going to be key here, folks.
Top developer says XRP could go to $5,000 that quickly. Now, Vincent Van Bottle made a $5,000 per XRP prediction, but he said it's going to reach this price point by 2035. So basically, we're not going to see these massive numbers in this current cycle. And you know what? That actually makes perfect sense when you think about the big picture here. We're talking about tokenization revolutionizing entire industries, cross-border payments getting completely transformed, the derivatives market going digital. I mean, this is huge stuff. And don't even get me started on how XRP could tackle the global debt crisis. With all of this in play, could XRP eventually hit those crazy high prices? Absolutely. But here's where I think our friend got the timeline wrong. I actually believe it's going to happen way sooner than he thinks, probably before 2030 hits. You know how it works in crypto, right? When someone tells you something big is going to take a whole year, you can usually cut a few years off that prediction. I'm betting we see all of this unfold by 2028, maybe 2029 at the latest. Heck, I think we're going to witness some seriously impressive XRP prices even heading into 2027. Now here's what really gets me fired up. Everyone and their mother is calling for a major bear market next year. They want you to believe this story so badly. Why? Because they want you to panic sell your XRP at every little peak, thinking, oh no, this must be the top. But here's the kicker. While you're selling off your precious XRP, guess who's quietly buying it all up? That's right, the institutions. We're not just talking about crypto whales anymore, folks. We're talking about massive institutions swooping in and locking away XRP for the long haul. Don't fall for their tricks. 5,000 XRP cost about $11,500 today. What could it be worth in 2035? So get this. They're drawing some pretty incredible parallels to what we saw with Amazon stock back in the day. And the prediction they're making? Brace yourself for this one. They're saying XRP could be worth well over $1 million by 2035. I mean, just think about that for a second. We all know what happened to people who held on to Amazon stock from the early days, right? Those who had the vision and the patience became absolutely wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. And now they're suggesting XRP could follow that exact same trajectory. Yeah, they're targeting 2035 for that massive prediction. And here's what I'm noticing. Pretty much every major price prediction coming out lately is pushing these crazy numbers way down the road. We're talking years and years out. But hold on a minute. What about us right now? What happens in the short term? Here's the exciting part. If you want to make serious money off XRP during this upcoming run, you're absolutely going to be able to change your life. I'm talking life-changing money, people. Now, if you're dreaming about that generational wealth, the kind of money that sets up your kids and grandkids, I honestly believe that's still happening way before 2030. You don't need to wait until 2035 or, God forbid, 2050. Think about it logically. By 2035, this new financial system will have been running smoothly for years already. Tokenization? Sure, maybe there'll be a few stragglers left to tokenize, but the heavy lifting will be done. And here's the kicker that proves my point. Even the World Economic Forum is saying tokenization will be an absolutely massive $837 trillion market by 2030. So even the big players are betting on a timeline that's way sooner than 2035. The writing is on the wall, folks. This transformation is happening faster than most people think. Now, here's where things get really interesting. And this could be huge for XRP holders. If Ethereum's deflationary rate starts slowing down, that whole scarcity advantage it's been bragging about, yeah, that starts to disappear. And when that happens, guess who's perfectly positioned to swoop in and take the crown? That's right, XRP. We could be looking at XRP becoming the absolute king of global liquidity flows. And folks, when I say this could trigger a major shift, I'm talking about the kind of change that completely flips the script on everything we thought we knew about crypto. Picture this. A total reversal that doesn't just shake up the crypto space, but completely reshapes it from the ground up. And here's the cherry on top. This kind of massive shift, it's exactly what could push institutions to finally jump on board in a big way. We're potentially looking at a game-changing moment here, people. So, check this out. They're already starting to talk about Ethereum losing its grip. And what are they saying could happen? Brace yourself for this. They're literally suggesting that XRP could knock ETH out of that number 2 spot. Can you imagine? Now, here's my take on this. I absolutely believe XRP is going to flip Ethereum during this cycle. I'm calling it right now. But the million-dollar question is, will XRP go even further and flip Bitcoin itself? That's where things get really spicy, because it all comes down to one thing. How much money flows into those spot XRP ETFs when they finally launch? But wait, there's more. When you combine that massive institutional money with the regulatory clarity we've been waiting for, holy smokes, that could be an absolute game changer. And don't even get me started on the ISO 20022 factor. That's just the icing on the cake. Guys, I'm telling you, this could be the run that changes absolutely everything. We're not just talking about a price pump here. This could be the run that kicks off the biggest utility explosion we've ever seen in crypto. I've been saying this for months now, and I'll keep saying it. There's a very real chance that XRP is going to be the one leading us into alt season this time around, not Ethereum. The tables are about to turn, people. Okay, this is massive news that just dropped. Ripple's president Monica Long just confirmed something that has me absolutely pumped. They're bringing a lending protocol to the XRP Ledger.
Now, if you're wondering why this is such a big deal, let me break it down for you. This isn't just another feature they're adding. This could be a total game changer for XRP's utility. We're talking about expanding what XRP can do in ways that could attract even more real-world use cases. This is exactly the kind of development that gets institutions excited, folks. You know what I'm absolutely loving right now? Monica Long is talking utility, Brad Garlinghouse is talking utility, David Schwartz is talking utility, Stuart Alderati is talking utility. It's like someone sent out a memo at Ripple headquarters. Everyone needs to start talking about utility. And when I see this kind of coordinated messaging from the entire leadership team, it tells me one thing. We are incredibly close to a massive utility explosion. Now, when they mention lending, don't think about your typical retail credit cards or personal loans. No. We're talking about serious institutional lending coming to the XRP Ledger. This is big bank, big corporation level stuff. Here's what you need to understand. Everything Ripple is building right now is laser focused on enterprise adoption, not retail. And you know what? The fact that we regular folks were able to buy this cryptocurrency from day one, that's absolutely incredible luck, people. But here's the heartbreaking truth. Most people are going to throw away this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because they're going to panic sell way too early. Mark my words, when XRP hits $10, you're going to see people dumping their entire bags. And what happens next? They're going to rush to Twitter posting, "I just sold the top, XRP is done." And then what happens? XRP keeps climbing. Because once we see that institutional money flooding into those ETFs, just look what it did for Bitcoin. XRP is going to follow that exact same rocket ship trajectory. Don't be that person posting regrets on social media, folks. Ripple co-founder Chris Elson is now officially among the world's wealthiest 200 individuals. You know, I always said it's a matter of time until XRP becomes the #1 cryptocurrency. And here's another bold prediction I'm sticking to. RLUSD is going to absolutely dominate as the #1 stablecoin in the world. But wait, there's more. I genuinely believe Chris Larsen is going to become the richest person on the planet once XRP finally reveals its true value. Because let's be real here. What we're seeing as the price right now, that's not even close to XRP's actual worth. Not even in the same ballpark. Just think about this for a second. Look at everything that's happened with this cryptocurrency in just the last 6 months alone. It's been absolutely incredible. And if I took you back through the bear market and showed you all the massive growth happening outside the United States, your mind would be blown. We're talking about payment rail after payment rail being installed, country after country jumping on board. And here's the kicker. We haven't even gotten to the launch of central bank digital currencies yet. And guess what? A ton of them are building directly on the XRP Ledger. So yeah, Chris Larsen becoming the world's richest man? I'm calling it right now. It's going to happen once XRP shows everyone what it's really worth. But until all of this unfolds, here's what I need you to do. Stay patient, stay positive, and let's all get rich together. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on today's video. I want to give a massive thank you to each and every one of you for watching and supporting the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I truly appreciate all of you. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, have a fantastic night and keep those diamond hands strong.